So the events unfolding around us are making clearer than ever that we're living in the final part of the last days, undoubtedly the final part of the final part of the last days, shortly before the last day of the last days.
How you doing, guys? People think I'm absolutely insane for getting up so damn early in the morning. But to be honest with you, it's about the only time I can get any solitude these days, because I'm pretty much going full throttle for every waking moment. Last few weeks, actually probably the last week or so, I've been getting very, very short with people. I get annoyed so easily. As a matter of fact, I've walked away from more conversations than I can shake a stick at. Particularly when you got people that blow their own horns. That annoys me to no end. So I pretty much just walk away. This is pretty much something Watchtower has been notorious for the last 2 years or so, since the whole 2020 thing started. Of course, what they're trying to do is absolve themselves from the BS of the last 10 and throw everything else out in the forefront, which isn't really working. It was about 2 years ago they set up the fear factor amongst its members, and then their compliance with the governmental authorities. See, they're complying with all these things put into place to make themselves look like the good guy, with the intention of letting everybody know we're doing this because of the love of our neighbor. We're complying with all governmental rules. But why isn't it they don't do the same thing with child sexual abuse? They still are in a state of denial, yet they're throwing all this in the forefront, so you flat out forget all about what's already happened. See, Watchtower and Jehovah's Witnesses have always been about physical appearance. Even though they claim not to, they've always been about the outward appearance. You could be a piece of shit on the inside, and yet they'll still accept you if you look good on the outside. But with Watchtower, it's too late. See, they're still in a state of denial. And JWs are no better, because they are still in a state of denial. Pretty much everybody who's woken up has already woken up. Many are still in, many have left. But Watchtower still tries to keep them dumbed down. And this is why there are courts around the world all over them. Then about the database. If you were complying with governmental authorities, why is it you never wanted to turn over your database? Why is it you never wanted to turn over all the perpetrators in these sexual abuse cases? Instead, you covered it up. You were worried about your appearance, how the world would view you. Well, had you complied way back then, the government would have viewed you a whole lot better than they are now. The public would have viewed you a whole lot better than they're viewing you now. Face it, Watchtower, you're a piece of shit on the inside. Now it's starting to show on the outside. You can comply with all the rulings that you want, but everybody is still viewing you as a piece of shit. There's nothing you can do to save your image. Your image is done. And JWs, you're no better for defending them. Do you remember that comments you used to hear when you mentioned the child sexual abuse? See, Watchtower and Jehovah's Witnesses like to separate themselves from other religions, except when you mentioned the child abuse problem. How many times have you heard, well, that goes on in all religions? Which sounds to me, well, that makes it okay. You're given the green light for it to happen because it happens in all religions. But one thing they're overlooking, it's not that it happens in all religions, it's the piss-poor way it's handled. So now they want to kind of shroud that in mystery. They kind of want to bury it. But it's too late to be buried. More and more people are becoming aware of it, Watchtower. And regardless how you want to paint the picture of what your organization is, and JWs are, a piece of shit is a piece of shit. Whether it's in a bucket or a golden goblet, shit is shit. Anyways, guys, time to get this day started. Hope to talk to you soon. Maybe you'll be well rested next time I see you. You guys have a good day.
Young ones, evidently, apparently, obviously, we are pedophiles. Obviously.